Welcome to the Business of Beauty, where we help beauty entrepreneurs in building their business and reaching their dreams. This is your host, David Lee. Our guest today helps hair, beauty, and wellness brands visually communicate their unique genius so they feel proud and clear, showcasing their growing empire. She is proud that they have transformed over 500 plus brands, and her superpower is injected into the DNA of Digital Bloom. Her work is fueled by her genuine love for transforming the way business owners see their brand, from supporting startup seedlings, navigate through their branding confidence, breathing fresh new strategies into blossoming brands, to being the creative brain behind some of the industry's hero brand glow-ups. Welcome to the show, Sarah Garner at Digital Bloom.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Oh yeah, it's the same here. I saw your info. I started looking at it. I'm like, oh, this is good stuff. I'm really looking forward to it. So brand. Now, let's start with that. Tell us a little bit about like your agency and the brand piece, and like some of our audience members. They're thinking about starting a business, and sometimes brand might be not top of mind, for them, or maybe it's the thing that they think about. Oh, brand, you mean a logo, right? And
Yes.
and it's a little bit more than that, right? So if you could
Yes.
kind of highlight a little bit more on that.
Absolutely. So I guess where it all started for Digital Bloom is when I was side hustling and freelancing as a graphic designer. I was working with all different kinds of small businesses, from hospitality to retail to trade services, you name it. And what I found is there was a common point between three different industries, and that was the hair, beauty, and the wellness sectors. And I think they're such incredible industries that they have no idea that they do this, but they have such an innate ability to inspire and empower confidence in every single person that they come into contact with or that comes into their space. But there was no one out there, especially in Australia and New Zealand, particularly, that was making them feel that confidence and empowerment within their brand or their business rather. So hence Digital Bloom was born. I wanted to, help these incredible people do this and make them feel so good and proud of their businesses. And I think what often happens is we get people come to us day in and day out and say, oh, I'm not big enough to have a brand. Like my business is not a brand. But the reality is you are your brand, and a brand is a representation of your business. It's the personality, it's the clothes that it puts on. So if you refer to your business as if it has a set of human characteristics, that is what a brand is. It's the way that the world understands and communicates with your business.
Okay. And through that, how does the business communicate, to the rest of the world? And going more on the technical pieces, right? Okay, logo, one of them, right? What are some of the other pieces?
Well, I mean, a brand is encompasses so many different things. So the branding is the aspect that we would help our clients with, and the branding are the visuals. So everything from your logo to your business card, to the signage on the front of your space. You might have your social media graphics. You have any single thing that is visual is branding. Then, there's other parts of your brand which come into play, which are extension of branding, which is tone of voice. So how does your business sound? How does it communicate with an audience as if it had a voice? What does that look like? Who are your dream clients? So who are the people that you're wanting to bring into your space that show up 10 minutes early for an appointment? They, purchase anything that you tell them to. They refer people that are just like them. They've booked out 12 months in advance. So it's really about applying that branding or that image or that feeling consistently across all of your visuals. So media, digital, print, what have you.
Okay. Yeah. Now from the, hair, beauty and wellness perspective of all these aspects, like for someone that's starting, what are some of the most important elements to start first? Maybe they're limited in time or limited in budget, but what are some of the top items you would say?
Definitely a logo. So to be very clear, a logo isn't your brand, and that's a really, really common misconception. It is the way that the world identifies you visually. So
Mhm.
if we think about, for instance, like we'll use Coca-Cola, they've got a very, very prominent color set and their logo is very easily identifiable. So that's not their brand, but it is a part of how we represent, how we visually identify. So the logo, I think, is number one every time. That's going to set the tone for the rest
Yeah.
of the brand. It does not completely define you, because if you think about the colors and the fonts and all of the other bits and pieces that make up that visual,
Yeah.
that's really important to nail first up to gain consistency.
Yeah.
Because what happens when we gain consistency is we start to create that that feeling like Coca-Cola. So if you see the
Mhm.
red, you instantly think of Coca-Cola.
Mhm.
It's like an apple for Apple and Mac. If you see an
Yep.
apple, it doesn't even have to
Yeah.
be the symbol. Like you could see a bowl of apples and you instantly think of Apple computers, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so it's really about identifying your colors and your fonts and your logo as an
Mhm.
absolute starting point,
Yeah.
and keeping that consistent throughout. Social media, if you use something like Canva,
Mhm.
or wherever you go from there, that at least sets the tone and the foundation.
Yeah, yeah. Now, so in the industries that you work in, like the hair, beauty, and wellness, do you see a certain pattern or trend versus, I don't know, like a doctor's office, a dental practice, a law firm? Like, are the colors, are the look and feel a lot different with these types of industries versus others?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I think because these industries are so visual and they're so
Yeah.
kinesthetic. So the touch and feel and the look and how things make people feel is super important. In terms of colors, you would think that there's a trend,
Yeah.
and I think it's
Mhm.
it's changing.
Mhm.
I think when we think particularly beauty, we think pink,
Yeah.
and that's just stereotypical.
Hmm.
But it is changing. Like we've
Hmm.
had, I could not tell you the last time we did a pink branding set, because
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's incredible, because I think once you start to dive into what the client's dream, that A grade dream client looks like for them,
Yeah.
it starts to you start to come down into like color psychology and
Yeah.
understanding what colors play not only nice together, not only what the owner of the business likes, but how
Okay.
they trigger certain emotions within the clients as well.
Yeah.
So yes and no. Depending on, it's all around the client for us. So if you are the outside looking in, you might say beauty is pink, for instance.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean that's maybe the stereotypical, first, thought that comes to mind. So if you don't mind, if we could dive a little deeper, I'm gonna challenge you too. Like, all right, let's like pretend like if I was one of your clients, right? And what would you do? What would be some of the first questions that you would ask me to help me figure out what should my logo be from a color standpoint, a design standpoint? Um, how would we get started?
Yeah, sure. So I think what makes us quite unique, obviously, we do specialize and we're industry specific,
Yeah.
but I don't believe in building anything that isn't aligned to your vision. So
Mhm.
if you said to me, Sarah, in 5 years' time, I'm going to have multiple locations, I'm going to come off of the floor as a therapist, I'm going to spend 10 hours working on my business, and I need to hit this certain revenue goal.
Yeah.
I have these certain clients. So what would happen is we would start and I would ask you, what does your next 12 months look like? What are you
Hmm.
working towards?
Hmm.
What does your next 3 years look like? What are you working towards?
Yeah.
And I would challenge you and ask you that, because a lot of
Hmm.
people don't really know past 12 months.
Yeah. Hmm.
So yeah, and rightly so, because I mean, like, look at the year that's just been.
I
Things
know, right?
happen,
It's
things
2020,
change.
it's all over the place, but we do have to plan for the future. But then,
Absolutely.
like, how would you differentiate? Like, okay, if I was in that scenario, let's say in 5, 10 years from now, I want to only work 10 hours. I mean, how does that translate to the color of my logo? Right. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
If I was a listener right now, that's why I would be scratching my head. I'm like, okay, what does that have to do with the logo and my brand?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So I guess your vision, like, it's really important in business, not just in the branding side of thing, in your entire business. So then once we have your vision, we know that we can effectively build you a brand, not for now, or a logo, not for now, but a logo that's going to stand the test of time, right? That's going to help you grow, well, not help you grow, but grow with you, right? So
Yeah.
it's not going to be like in 12 months time, you have to rebrand because you weren't very clear on your vision. So once we bring it back down. So we work backwards, sorry. So you have your vision, you have then, say your 12-month goal. Okay, so in order to hit that 12-month goal, we want to turn the current D-grade clients that you have, and we're going to build a bit of a marketing here. The current D-grade clients you have, you could spend half the amount of time and make more money if you were to attract your dream clients into your space.
Yeah.
Focusing on those dream clients, we need to really understand what makes them tick, right? So where do they hang out online? What do they eat for breakfast?
Yeah.
Where would they go shopping? Do they switch on Ellen at, it's on at 12 o'clock here, sometimes in Australia. Do they switch on Ellen during the day, for instance? What colors do they like? What do they, what are their interests and hobbies? So beyond the typical, when we ask people what their ideal client looks like, they go, oh, they earn this amount of money, they're between 18 and 65, and they live here. No, we're going to dive much deeper into that, right? So that really starts to help us break down, okay, well, let's say you don't like the color pink, for instance, right? But the clients you want to attract really resonate with pink, not because they're female, but because they might be, so pink, for instance, is really fun, it's go-getting, it's really like pops of personality, like it's the life of the party. So in some aspect, if that aligns with your dream clients, sorry, David, we're going to have some form of pink in your brand.
Yeah.
So that's, working backwards from, where you want to go, because I'm a real big believer that if you're doing things in your business that aren't aligned to where you want to go, then you're running on a hamster
right? You're
wheel.
going the wrong direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly right.
Yeah. So really to sum it up, so the reason why you start with like, where do you want to go? So you can make the jump and the connection from, okay, based on where you want to go, the type of clientele, the market you're attracting, is that a good fit to where you want to go to? And then you go a step back from there. All right, based on your target market, your audience, what do they like? What do they do, right? Let's just say they are professional female golfers and they need special makeup, and maybe golfers like a certain type of color, and because they're on the golf course, they're used to a certain type of brand. Am I correct?
Correct. Yeah. And I guess it's like color evokes emotions in us. So, for instance, if you go onto a website, I can't remember the last time I checked this, so don't quote me, but, to make people click on that buy now button or the call to action button, I think it's an orange from last memory, is the most clicked button to trigger that action. So the brain processes visuals 10,000 times faster than they will words. And it's a subconscious thing. So, really deep diving into what's going to make them feel emotion from what we're putting together.
Okay, great. And really, I mean, I hope the viewers are understanding that, this is one of the biggest difference between hiring, Sarah, like a professional, to like going to a service that's just, I'm just going to create a logo for you. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And building those brand foundations from the get-go is really just going to help you get so much clearer about who you're serving, what you're doing. And that's the whole aim for us, not just creating you a beautiful brand or a beautiful logo, but really helping you get clear on where you're headed, and how to align your branding to suit that.
Yeah, I love that. So what other aspects do you help with the industry? Like you mentioned, okay, obviously logo, but social media, right? Do you handle the social media like management side or the creation of the artwork?
The artwork mostly.
Artwork.
I definitely don't want to delve into that.
But I'm curious though, do you have the metrics? Like, do you know when your clientele, they're posting your art, right, for their social media posts, like type of engagement that they're getting based on the art that you're creating?
I don't actually, but that is a really, really good point, because I should probably find out some solid metrics around that. But I mean, just from them telling me and in testimonials that their clients have actually it's increased their visibility from just asking and surveying their clients. But I'm definitely going to find out a few of those metrics, because that's really interesting.
Because we would like to know like
Mm.
what works, what doesn't, right? So maybe certain colors, like you mentioned, like the orange button, right? Maybe it's that orange text. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's crazy. Like I've seen ugly like websites work, ugly landing pages work, but it fits the psyche, right?
Definitely.
So from your clients, working with over 500 brands, and especially how has this year been with the beauty brands that you've been working with?
Incredible. Like absolutely incredible. We have been able to reach so many more people that I never thought possible. And really, like, COVID has allowed us to do that, because people have been forced to stop, especially here in Australia. We've part of Australia's gone into lockdown twice. So as hard as that is, it's people are working on their businesses. They're wanting to DIY things because naturally, they can't work to bring in the income. So, I was getting so many different people ask me, Sarah, how do I do this on Canva? Or how do I create this? I want to support you, but at the moment I need to, look after my business, which is totally fair. So to be honest with you, this year during COVID, we've created a Canva course on how to up-level your branding across your social media. So helping them understand, you don't have to, be a complete design whiz or have a creative bone in your body to create some on-brand, consistent templates that are going to, when people are scrolling, stop and be drawn into that and like, oh, okay, cool. I'm going to click on that because it's really visually pleasing. And also I'm feeling a bit of emotion coming from that visual.
Nice. Now, where do you see like the hair, beauty, and wellness industry going, next year? I mean, pretty much a month from now, right? Less than a month from now, 2021 and onwards. Where do you see the industries going?
I think online mostly. I think they're all just going to tighten up the marketing. If they don't have marketing, or if they do have marketing as a salon owner or spa clinic owner level, I think there's going to be a lot more possibilities and outside the square ideas beyond the traditional treatment room. I think there will be a lot of innovation, I think, that comes out of COVID. And we're starting to see it now over here in Australia. I'm not sure if you're seeing it there. Everyone's pivoting online, and it's so cool, the creative ideas that are coming out of people. And it's
like some of the things that we've seen even on the show and the others, like they're creating products. They're taking their services and turning it into more products of, this is a tutorial, this is how you do it, this is how you do maintenance. They're doing consulting calls, right? They're creating they're actually, some are even doing like drop off delivery packages of their beauty kits. And of course, others are starting their YouTube channels and stuff like that. So definitely going online, but a big portion still are just waiting until that lockdown's over so they can open back up.
Yes, definitely. And I think too, it's really brought an awareness to help break that stigma of what happens if my client can do it at home, they'll never come back in. I've really seen a lot of people go, okay, well, now I'm forced to help my client do this at home because they want to come back in. If I help them do it correctly, they're going to go, oh, well, I spend 2 hours trying to wax my eyebrows, or will I just go in and see my therapist?
Yeah. But also you look at the scale of it too, right? You can help someone from the other side of the world where they would have never been your customer, right? Because they wouldn't be able to go to your location. But now if you're doing an online like training platform or tutorial, and you can be training more than one person at a time, you can be training 10 people, 20 people, 100 people, right? So I totally believe in that. But those are some of the things that I've seen other beauty businesses start doing, just that diversify their income stream.
Yes, very much the same here. And I'm so loving that everybody's jumping on and getting a website finally.
Yeah, right.
So excited.
Before it's like, you don't need a website. What website?
It's like your online business card. You need one.
Yeah. Now more than ever.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, well, thank you so much for being on the show. Do you have any pointers or tips to the beauty businesses that are listening in and our viewers?
Yes, I do. I think it's really important to start viewing your business as so much more than a small business or a little business, because you have the power to absolutely change lives with what you do, and it's so incredible. It just comes naturally to you. So don't take your brand or your branding, from my perspective, for granted. Really work on finding out what it is that you want to work towards if you don't have that clear vision, and start bringing your dreams into reality, whether that is you wanting to come off of the floor or you want to work 10 hours in your business. Whatever that looks like, it's absolutely possible, and your brand is the vehicle that's going to help you make that happen.
Nice. And thank you so much. How can our audience reach you?
Yes. So jumping onto our website at www.digitalbloom.com.au. You can always hit us up on the gram. I'm always over there stalking beauty, hair, wellness businesses at digital_bloom, or on Facebook as well.
Nice. Well, thanks again for being on the show, and listeners and viewers, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Beautypreneurs. I'm David. My team and I created a website kit for fellow entrepreneurs looking to grow their business online, whether it's e-commerce or a service-based business. We've got you covered. This will also help us continue our webcasts and provide valuable knowledge to countless beauty entrepreneurs watching. For more details, check out our website kits at beautybiz.info/website kits. If you like the videos that we make, you can support us by giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. Thanks. We'll see you next time.